What's going on, everybody? Today we are here at the Triumph Church here in Detroit, Michigan. Now you're probably asking yourself, why the heck are we at some abandoned church in Detroit? Well, ladies and gentlemen, little do you know, in that small little graveyard over there lies one of the greatest industrial pioneers in the history of the United States, Henry Ford. Ever heard of him? Probably have. He is the namesake of the Ford Motor Company, one of the most revolutionary car industries in history. And Henry Ford was such a revolutionary figure in the history of just industry as far as the world knows it today. I mean, he was the guy who invented not only the first Model T car in the United States, but the assembly line as a whole. The entire idea of mass production started with Henry Ford. And today we're going to pay tribute to his life. And sadly for him, his burial site is not the best taken care of. We're down here in Detroit. And if anybody knows anything about Detroit, it is a very rundown city. Pretty big city up here in Michigan, but look at the church, man. It's sad. I mean, just look at this parking lot. It's honestly horrible how this is. Now, there's been a movement going on in Detroit to try to restore the city, but it is so, in the past couple decades, this place has just gone way downhill in the poverty levels. But Henry Ford was from Dearborn, Michigan, and the Ford Motor Company was based in there. Dearborn is a suburb right outside of Detroit. It's very close to Detroit. And this is pretty much downtown. This is basically the streets of Detroit right here. I mean, you can't see the skyline, but it's basically in the downtown area. And this is the church that I'm assuming he went to. Very beautiful in architecture, but man, it says office, use rear doors, what it says. Notice how old that is. It says use the rear doors. So this is like the main entrance of the church right there. So let's go check out his graves. I mean, Henry Ford pretty much lived his whole life in Detroit, so I hate to say this in a video, but we just witnessed a really bad motorcycle accident over at an intersection by McDonald's.
Cameraman had to call 911. Yeah.
So here we go. This is the Ford. The entire Ford family's buried here. Here he is. Henry Ford was born on the 30th of July, 1863, and passed away on the 7th of April, 1947, at the age of 83. Like I said, he lived his entire life in the Detroit area. Now, some people think that he was the guy who invented the automobile. Cars had existed well before his time, well before the Ford industry did. The first car was invented in Germany in the 1880s. However, only the prestigious, wealthy people were able to actually own automobiles. Henry Ford was the guy who came up with the idea that every person, no matter how wealthy they are, should be able to afford a car. So he created the Model T in 1908 and decided that it needed to be mass produced. So he came up with the assembly line. And the assembly line is used for mass production still to this day. I mean, it's been modified a little bit, but still to this day, without his revolutionary pioneering skills, mass production as a whole would not really exist without his leadership. I mean, it's such a small thing. And it was really the first time, mass production of cars, it had never been seen before. Mass production of almost any items had never been seen before that. Before the early 1900s, almost everything was like handmade and it was just. Ford, started the Ford company, which still exists today. I mean, there's probably plenty of Fords that have driven by you can probably find one. They're there, right there. That car would not exist without him. Beautiful cemetery or graveyard. It's called the Ford Cemetery. His wife is buried here, Clara Bryant Ford. She was born on April 11th of 1866 and September 29th of 1950. And then here's some of his siblings, I guess. He was so wealthy, his family was so wealthy, he could have easily had a huge grave like most of the other industrial tycoons of the time, like Vanderbilt and Andrew Carnegie and John D. Rockefeller and stuff like that. But no, he just wanted a simple burial under a tree near his family. No matter how inconvenient the spot was, right down here in downtown Detroit. I mean, as you can tell, his plaque is pretty well done, but really not that complex. Even going back to like 1819, William S. Ford. That could be his grandfather for all we know. I don't really know who that is. That could easily be his grandfather. Happening here from his family, like this person here, Edward Ford, just died in 2011, and he's buried here. And then his wife, Madeline Ford, is still alive. She's like 91. She's still alive. So we're yet to see more burials in this place. It's not like this place is abandoned or anything like that. Out it, but Donald Ford, 1896. He'd be 127 if he was still alive. Yes. His wife died in 1931. I mean, with graves like these, there's a chance he could have been cremated or something, because his wife died so long ago, and they only showing lived to be 33. I mean, there's a chance that like he could have been cremated and they never put him, or he could be alive. All right, guys. So with that short little video, let me know what you think about Henry Ford. I think he was freaking epic. With that, I want to thank you guys for watching. Be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.